Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Great, because you're in for a treat tonight with a little mini book I found on my shelf yesterday by one of my favourite authors, John Burningham. Avacado Baby. And you'll be happy to know we're about to reach 500,000 downloads. I just checked the stats and it was 499,758. So I wonder which one of you was the 500,000th listener here on the show. Thank you all so much. But let's get back to the story. One of my favourite books, authors, Avacado Baby by John Burningham. Once upon a time, Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves and their 2 children were not very strong. Mrs. Hargreaves was expecting another baby, and they all hoped it would not be as weak as they were. The new baby was born, and all the family were very pleased. Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves brought the baby home, and it grew, but, as they feared, it did not grow strong. Mrs. Hargreaves found feeding the baby difficult, and it didn't like food or want to eat much. "Whatever can I do?" wailed Mrs. Hargreaves. "The baby doesn't like eating anything I make, and it looks so weak." "Why don't you give it that avocado pear?" said the children. In the fruit bowl on the table, there was an avocado pear. Nobody knew how it had got there, because the Hargreaves never bought avocados. Mrs. Hargreaves cut the pear in half, mashed it, and gave it to the baby, who ate it all up. From that day on, an amazing thing happened. The baby became very strong. It was getting so strong, it could break from its straps on its high chair, pull other children uphill in a cart, wrench off the sides of its cot, and each day Mrs. Hargreaves gave the baby an avocado pear. One night, a burglar got into the house. The baby woke up and heard the burglar moving about downstairs. The baby picked up a broom and chased the burglar. The burglar was so frightened of being chased by a baby that he dropped his bag and ran out of the house. The next day, Mr. Hargreaves put a notice on the gate. "That should keep the burglars away," he said. "Beware of the baby." The baby would help carry the shopping, move the furniture, and push the car when it wouldn't start. One day, 2 bullies were waiting for the children in the park. The bullies started being very nasty to the children. The baby didn't like that and jumped out of its pushchair, picked up the bullies, and threw them in the pond. The baby gets stronger every day, and of course, it is still eating avocado pears. The end of Avacado Baby by John Burningham, here on the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls and strong babies around the world. Good night.